Hello, everybody. Kevin here. I wanted to make a new video to give everyone an update. So I finished my partial hospitalization program, or PHP for short. I was there for roughly 2 weeks, and it was a very good experience. That if you are struggling with any kind of issues, whether it be alcohol or drug addiction, or more depression, or just kind of issues stemming from stress at home or at work, I would really recommend looking into something like that, because it is very helpful and it really helped me. It's something that I didn't realize that I needed until I was there, and I was in mostly denial, I guess you could say, about there really being anything fixable about me and all that. And whether what I have is something that can be fixed, that's up to debate. But I do feel now that it's something that I can manage, and that with the help of a support system that I've developed over these past 2 weeks, that I will successfully be able to manage. And I just want to let you guys know that you can do the same thing. You can develop a support system. You can learn how to manage whatever it is that you're going through. And the first step is just being open and talking. I have a friend who he's kind of going through the same thing that I am. And I recommended going to an expressive therapy group that I will be starting this week, actually. And essentially, it's just kind of you do different things. You do rock painting. There's marble painting, drawing, coloring, different types of things. But the task is to basically kind of be able to visualize what it is that you have going on and what it is that you have to overcome in order to get to what you want, which I think is really helpful, especially for me. All the times that I did expressive therapy in the PHP, it was very helpful in order to see, kind of get all the mixed up stuff going up in here down on paper, where I could kind of see what was going on in a metaphorical sense, what I needed with what I was doing, and what I wanted in the future, And one of the things was that I wanted in the future was to see my nephew grow up. And that was kind of a really big and important thing for me. And I was able to see that clearer. And, for a while, I didn't think that I was going to be there for my nephew. And even though I still have, some tough days, some days where I just can't have that elevated mood, the PHP isn't kind of like a perfect solution. It's kind of just to help yourself. I now feel like I will be there for my nephew, and I'm very happy about that. When he was first born, I was kind of hesitant to hold him and interact with him, and it was one of those things where it's, with depression, you always kind of have this guilt about you, where you're doing something wrong or you're a burden to people. And I had this irrational fear that the second I, kind of laid hands on him, I would taint the innocence that he was with my depression. And I knew that was irrational. I completely understood it, but I just couldn't get myself to get rid of that thought. And, the PHP helped me realize that that was nothing that I could do. Is there a chance that he'll grow up with, the same ailments that I have? Yes. But at least with me having gone through it, I can help him with that. And I'm very not excited, but I'm glad that if he ever needs someone who not only supports him, but knows what he's going through, I'm glad that I can do that for him. And so now it's just, I missed out on the first couple months of kind of being there for him, holding him and all that stuff. And, now he's starting to make noises and he's starting to laugh at things now. And I realized that I really missed that beginning stage where he was an infant, like newborn. And I don't want to miss anything else with him. I want to be there for him. So that is a goal I have, is to be there for him. And I know I can do that by helping myself. And I can help myself using professional services, which I just came from, and also this support that I built using friends and family. When I was younger, I didn't really have much communication with my parents. And that's not to say from lack of trying on their part. They tried, of course, but I was just very internal about everything. I kept everything to myself. I was very quiet. I never really gave out any details. And, did that hurt me growing up? What I was doing? Possibly. But they tried, and I thank them for that. And I thank them for still trying to this day, because they've helped so much. Looking back, just the support they've given me. So I'd say now I do have a better relationship with my parents. I'm more open with them. I'm more talkative about things that's bothering me, especially with, medication and all that stuff. I don't have that many friends. I've kind of, in my lower states, I've kind of just pushed people away. I would cease all contact. I would be very flaky, and that would be a combination of the idea of having to go out in public, see them and whoever it was they were hanging out with, whom I didn't know, and also just not having the energy to get up. And I still struggle with that too, just not having that motivation or that energy. Getting up is one of the hardest things for me to do in the morning. Oh my gosh. It is tough. I was planning on actually doing this video yesterday, and I thought, yeah, I'll just do it tomorrow. I don't really feel like it. I'll just kind of relax. I'm tired, all that. And then today came. I had trouble getting up as per usual. But then I started to feel like, I don't really want to record the video. Maybe some other time. But I'm glad that I'm not forcing myself. I'm glad that I'm doing it right now, because I just really enjoy opening up now. Ever since I came from the PHP, I was talking to random strangers, and this is what I'm doing now. I'm talking to random strangers, and it was so helpful to just open up. And now it's just like, I love it. I mean, I'm not going to go out in public and talk to some random guy on the street about how, I had a shitty 15 years or whatever. But I am now more open to just what's wrong. And if someone needs help, I'll help them with any way I can, being sympathetic, being empathetic, not telling them, but kind of letting them know that if I could do it, they could do it. And that's why I want to do these videos, because I want to be able to help in any way that I can. I want you to know that, as per my last video, that you're not alone, that I'm here for you, that there will always be people there for you, whether it's, your own support system that you don't realize you have, like your friends and family, or professional services that I didn't realize I had access to and were so effective for me. Now, granted, nothing is perfect for everybody. The partial program helped for me, but it might not help for another person. They might need a full-time 24/7 program, or another person might need just a therapist that they see weekly or bi-weekly. It's all up to you and what works for you. And that's what's so important, is that you need to find what works for you and to not be afraid of getting that professional help, getting that second opinion who knows what they're talking about. Because you could either, one, convince yourself that there's nothing wrong with you, while everyone else that knows you and loves you and wants you to be around is saying, no, you need some help. You're not the person we grew up with. Something changed. Which is kind of what I was, in the position I was. Or you could be the person that says, oh, I really need help. I'm not okay. And then you've got, your friends or family say that, oh, you're overreacting. You're blowing it out of proportion. And, in both cases, that's when you could use that professional opinion, because they know what to do for you. They know, okay, let's start you on some medicine. Let's get you seeing this person once a week. Open up to them, talk about how you're feeling, and then if they feel like that's all you need, then that's all you need. And you may not realize it, but you may feel better moving on. And then the same goes for, oh, I think you need a partial program or a full-time program. And then for however long you're there, a week, 2 weeks, a month, you may not realize it, but that's what you needed. Because that's what I needed. I needed that intensive care, in a sense. That kind of really put things into perspective as far as what was going on, along with what I can do to kind of do my best to prevent my low episodes, and also, remedy them as well, to kind of try and bring myself out of that funk that I would go into. And, it's, like I said before, it's not perfect. You can't go through life without sadness. I wish that you could. I wish that I could, but we just can't. So, it's not the end of the world, I've started to notice, when, I'm having 3 good days in a row, and then I get just one bad day. And then, the next day after that is a bit meh. And then after that, it's a little bit better. And then I start having some good days again. It's not the end of the world. But you're adjusting. You're on that roller coaster, and you're surviving. And who knows, maybe when you get to the top, you're having some fun. But it's just something that needs to be said, I believe. Whether, you need it or you don't need it. Because I think once you say it and you get that person whose opinion matters, that professional who really does care for your well-being. Yes, there's a stigma around mental health, but the people in the mental health field, they legitimately care about what you're feeling, about how you're taking care of yourself, and they want you to see better. So I think just talking to them could make such a huge difference with whatever you have going on, because it did for me. And I want all of us to get better. I want all of us to be able to function. I don't want us going day to day just laying in bed. It may feel like you're one purpose in life, like it did me, but it's not healthy. And I don't want that for you. And that's why I'm here. I want you to know that I'm someone who has been there. I want you to know that I'm someone who is still struggling with it, but I'm getting a little bit better. And chances are I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. And I've come to terms with that, and I'm okay with that, because I'm learning how to manage it. I'm finding out that I have people who support me, people that I can lean on. And sure, you may have days where you just want to isolate yourself from people, and that's fine. I still have those days where I just don't want to see anybody. And then the next day, I feel better. I feel a little bit more talkative. I wouldn't mind this person or that person's company. And that's fine. As long as you're getting yourself to a healthy place. And I think together we can really do that. So at the end of my my partial hospitalization program, the PHP, we had a goodbye ceremony. And basically, here is a rock that someone whom I don't know, this was in groups before me, they had painted a blue yellowish color, and on one side it says love, and then on the other side it says the best of two worlds. Now, I really liked this one because I just felt that after that program, that was me. And that can be us. We can be the best of two worlds, where we can identify as, say, being a full functioning member of society, and simultaneously being someone with a disability who needs that extra push, who needs that extra help. We can be the bridge to ending that stigma and finally being supportive of people who are afraid to speak up about what is going wrong. And I think that's us. We are the best of two worlds. We can interact with both. We can advocate for both. We can be ambassadors to the people who need help, and for the people who need help, to the people who judge. We can speak up, and that's what I want to do. So, this rock in the goodbye ceremony, I chose this, and everybody in my group, along with the therapist that I had, they would pass the rock around and say something, give you well wishes, and basically they would say it to the rock and then give it back to you. And essentially, you holding on to the rock, you carry their good graces with you. If they tell you good luck, you hold that with you. They wish you good luck. You have that luck from them. And I really like that because it kind of just reminds me of what I was in, the other people there who I didn't know at all, but we were having that common struggle. And it just reminds me that I was in a dark place. I got out of that very dark place. I may find other dark places, but I will always get out of them. And I wholeheartedly believe that working together, we can all get out of it together. So that's all I really wanted to say for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to talk, please feel free to comment down below. I would love to have a conversation with you, or I guess message me in private. Not really sure how YouTube works. It's only my second video after all. But thank you, and I am there for you, and I will always be there for you, and together we can do it. Bye.